So I get asked the question all the time, is drinking today in college different than when I was there? This is a question I usually get from adults who have been graduated for the past 15, 20, 30 years, and it's a difficult question to answer. Image-wise, I would say the answer is yes, because if you look at the images we had of college stemming back to the 1970s with movies like Animal House, they look very similar to the kinds of movies you see today, like Old School, where it's essentially a juvenile, drunken-driven culture of college behavior. But if you look at the data, it's actually kind of interesting. Overall consumption patterns of alcohol among college students have actually gone down slightly over the last 30 years. But underneath that, if you look at the trend of heavy drinking, what's known as high risk or binge drinking, that's actually increased in the past 15 or 20 years. So there's been some trend towards the extreme. And when you ask college students about why they drink, more of them are saying today that they're drinking with the purpose of getting drunk. So whereas before you might have been drinking for other purposes, now it's literally kind of a, I'm going to take it to an extreme level mentality. And that's being driven by trends like pre-gaming, where students are now doing shots in a short period of time in their dorm rooms before they go out. It's driven also by things like drinking games, which have become pretty prevalent on many college campuses. And the other trend that's interesting is that among women, rates of heavy drinking have gone up in the last 10 or 15 years. Obviously something of concern for all of us. The context around which drinking takes place has changed as well, because what we've seen is that now we have data that kind of quantifies the impact of this problem, whereas 10, 20, 30 years ago we didn't. It was recently estimated that there's almost 1,800 college student deaths every year related to alcohol. Most of those are alcohol-related traffic crashes. But when you put it in that perspective, it's a really big number. And in addition, colleges and universities are now getting sued more frequently if they aren't doing things to prevent high-risk drinking from taking place on campus. The thing I'm most excited about, though, is that if you look at just the most recent 5-year trend, there's been a substantial increase in the percentage of non-drinkers coming to college. In fact, this fall, it was 62%, an all-time high. Therefore, the majority of incoming college students are really not interested in drinking the way that we may have previously thought they would be.